Hello? Hey. Yeah.
On the continuing road to Uranbatol, the Shining Force arrived at the nomadic POW, where they met General Elliot of Runefaust, and learned the truth behind the nation's recent string of vile activities. Despite Elliot's disapproval of these recent events, his loyalty to the crown forced his army into conflict against Max's forces after making Max promise that if he wins, he'll free Runefaust from Dark Soul's evil influence. Following their victory, the Shining Force finally reached Uranbatol, and infiltrated the fortress of Balbazak. The adventure continues.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PlayView. The name's gurvmlk, and I'll be your host as we dive back into the world of Shining Force, the legacy of great intention for the Sega Genesis, where we will be infiltrating Balbazak's fortress. Because he's the bad guy, apparently. We've got this new character in our party, Domingo, who is a flying magic user. Although he's not completely flying, he does still get the benefits of land effect while also being able to bypass certain types of terrain. But there are certain types of terrain that flying characters can go over, but he can't. There's Ammon already hitting level 10, so now she's basically a character I don't want to actively use anymore for this fight unless it's an emergency. It's getting to that point in the game. Actually, I know exactly what I'm going to do with her. But yeah, I have a lot of flying units in this battle because it's just a big cluster of stuff in the way. Lots of walls and obstacles, so I wanted to have a lot of flying units, as well as some centaurs who can move efficiently through the flat terrain. Mobility is going to be a heavy focus in a lot of my setups throughout this game. There's Pel or Pelly or Pele, whatever, hitting level 10 as well. My usable characters are quickly diminishing, but that'll allow others who may be a bit further behind to level up some more. Speaking of Domingo, I brought up in the previous episode that I had a bit of a story to tell about him, because when I first played this game, I didn't use Domingo, and I was a fool. And the reason for that was because when he joins, he's at level 1, and that just makes him seem incredibly underwhelming. So I was just like, I don't want to start with a fresh level 1 character at this point in the game. I'm gonna send Pel up here just to kind of lure the enemies in a bit. But then in regards to Domingo, one day, a friend decided to try using him just to see if he was any good. And sure enough, Domingo is one of the most incredible characters in the game. He can fly, he uses magic, he's a tank. His only drawback is that his basic attacks are utterly worthless. He takes the stereotype of a wizard being physically weak and cranks it up to 1,000. But yeah, he's just a great character. I'll be using him a lot for sure, because he's also very versatile in how he's useful. So he'll be probably seeing a lot of combat throughout the game compared to some other characters. One interesting thing about this battle is, unlike 95% of the game, this is one part of the game that the GBA remake, nice job, May, that the GBA remake actually improved upon, because it explained this gaping hole in the front of the fortress. Can that enemy reach Arthur from there? Oops, wrong button. Yeah, he'll be able to. He's not very strong though, so that guy's not an especially big threat, although the Hellhounds, though, are misleadingly powerful because they can belch fire and do high damage that cuts through defense based on that. Anyway, as I was saying, this battle actually had an improvement in the, let's get a Kenji. This battle had an improvement in the GBA version because in this version of the game, there's no explanation as to how that huge hole appeared in Balbazak's fortress for us to infiltrate it. However, in the remake, they actually explain it because they have Luke, I believe. He has some dynamite on him and he uses that to just blow this massive hole in the wall so we can get inside. I feel like that's something that they probably saw when they were remaking the game and thought this needs some kind of explanation. We also have Kokichi, who we... Oh, phone call. So back to Kokichi, and there's actually a story with him as well. I'm having so many things to talk about during this stupid battle, which is good because the battle itself isn't anything particularly interesting. So Kokichi's one of the more unique characters in this game because he's a flying unit like Ammon and Balbaroy, but unlike them who use swords, Kokichi uses a spear, so he has both high mobility and the advantage of being able to use ranged attacks. Although I believe his stats aren't anything particularly remarkable. So that's kind of his, the payoff for his advantages. But an interesting thing about him, I never owned this game as a kid. I got it later on through like compilations and stuff, but I didn't own an original cartridge until relatively recently, but I did rent the game a lot. Sometimes I would rent the game and see another person's save file and just load it, be like, I wonder what kind of party this guy was using. I wonder how far he is. So I would load another person's save file, and one time when I did that, they were at the final battle in the game, and they had this character named Kokichi in their team, who I had never heard of before. It was the only character in the game I had never recruited, and I'm just like, whoa, 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 who is this guy? I've never seen this guy before. Where did this come from? Oh no. They take off a lot of health from Max. I could use an angel wing to run away, but I'm just gonna try to hope I don't need to. Wow, that's a really solid attack power level up for Mei. Now, if this were Shining Force 3, Max would have died right there, but that's a whole other story. I don't need to be getting into that right now. So, Kokichi, I loaded this other person's save file at the end of the game, and I saw this guy, and I'm like, who is this guy? I've never seen this character before. And so I remember going on the internet later on. I don't remember if I had the internet myself at that time, so I believe I had to look it up at school, like the next day, or at the end of the weekend, or something like that. So I did that. Then I looked up this character, and I discovered Kokichi and how to get him. So, it's thanks to not owning the game that I was able to find out about that character. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have known about Kokichi until many, many years later. Oh, right, I forgot he has the Robin arrow, or whatever it's called in this one now. So he can attack from further away, making him a lot more useful despite how weak he is. In regards to that save file, what's Arthur's experience points looking like? Not super good. So, what was it? Alright, in regards to that save file with Kokichi, I believe that was also the very first... I'm not gonna attack with Pele because I don't want him stealing experience points. Actually, I'm gonna unequip his weapon and then just punch this guy. Do a little bit more damage. Really? Even when I'm trying to make that guy underperform, he still kicks everything's ass.
I'm the best there is at what I do.
I did not want Pell to get that experience. That's 42 experience down the drain because as soon as I promote him after this battle, it's gonna drop back down to 0. All I wanted was for him to punch the guy, make him a little bit more killable for somebody else, while also protecting Arthur. Great. Good job. How about you get hits like that when it matters? When it will actually help me instead of being a detriment to the progression of my team. Especially because I'm swapping characters out frequently, so my party's already gonna be at an average lower level than normal. At this point, everybody should be promoted, unless I added in like Gunts or something coming into this battle. Everybody should be promoted by this point, but they're not. Partly because of me using everybody. So that save file with, what's his name? Where I discovered Kokichi, I believe that was the same save file where the player had named his character instead of going with the default Max or some actual name. He named the character Vader, which as a stupid kid, I thought was a cool name. And I wanted to have a name like that, but I didn't want to straight up copy this guy like it would matter, like he would know. I wanted to use my own creativity with the name that I came up with, but I wanted a name like that. So, I tried to come up with an alternative, and what I came up with was Explorer. So, for the longest time, whenever I would play this game, I would name Max Explorer, which I thought was a cool name, just like Vader. I thought Vader was cooler, but Explorer I genuinely felt was like a solid alternative to that. For whatever reason, it was in my head that that was a name that was mildly decent. I don't think killing this guy ends the battle. But I don't remember if you have to kill just the Hellhound up at that door up above. Just the, what's it? Just the, artillery, or either or how that works. I don't remember exactly. I believe whichever one you kill, the door opens a certain way or something. I really can't remember. This is a forgettable battle. Although I would like to, get a kill or two with Lo if I can arrange it. So I can, finally get him promoted. All these ladders and walls are why I decided to bring some flying characters to circumvent them. Plus the knights who can just climb over them pretty much. Balbaroy's good, but he can go and maybe be a decoy. May's good. Ammon's good. Vankar can go after this knight. He's getting close to promotion as well. The more people I can get promoted, sooner the better. I'm gonna check something. You can save during battle, but it forces you out of the game. But I just want to test this because I can't remember if killing this artillery ends the battle. And I want to win this battle with as many kills under my belt as possible, so I can get more experience points out of the fight and be better prepared for what's to come later on. So let's whack this guy real quick and see if the battle ends. It doesn't. Okay, so I actually want to kill... Whoops. I just screwed that up. I was going to reset the game so I could kill the artillery last because I remember now, I believe whether you kill the artillery or the Hellhound last, that determines which door opens, and there's an added cutscene if you open the lower door instead, which I just screwed up because instead of resetting the game, actually resetting it like an idiot, I clicked quit again to go back, so I just saved after the artillery was killed instead of actually just resetting the game. So good job on me for screwing that up.
The stupidity is strong in that one.
But whatever. Seeing the cutscene doesn't actually change anything. It just adds a little more context to something else that's coming up. So that's a good start. Max has one of the greatest sprite improvements of all the characters upon promotion. But then Gong doesn't even punch people anymore. Now he shoots laser beams out of the ground. Because why not? He's even less buff. He actually lost some of his muscles from before. Another interesting thing about Domingo is he doesn't start promoted, nor does he ever get promoted. So you can't promote him at all, yet he has the stats and potential of promoted characters. But because he's essentially always 10 levels behind everybody, he gains way more experience than the rest of your party members. So he will constantly be so he'll just be constantly gaining experience points above everybody else, which causes him to mass level up pretty much. So that's one interesting thing he has going for him. And it's one of the things that makes him good, because I remember playing the remake and they kind of changed that so he's not over-leveled compared to everybody else. And seeing him like that, I saw his stats being a little less overwhelming than I'm accustomed to them being. Which was kind of a shame. I actually forgot he's the one I gave the power ring to. I'm gonna weaken this guy, but I really want to kill the priest first to get the experience points for it. Who's stronger between these two? Right now, 24, 27, Max. So Max would kill the Hound. He's attacking, really? Oh, well. Oh, that's why he's attacking, I guess, because he can do just so much damage. Domingo doesn't really need the experience points. I'd rather get experience points more with characters who can promote with the experience points. At least until everybody is promoted. After that, it won't be as big of a deal. This could either hurt or do nothing. It's gonna hurt. Ooh. That's their blaze attack. It just does a preset range of damage like magic, so your defense power doesn't matter at all. Vankar might get a level up from this. I really hope he does, because he's so close. Get Kokichi in there, then. He's not quite strong enough to finish that guy off. And, shoot, if I attack, then I'll be in trouble. Let's heal Gong. I think I know exactly what I'm gonna try to do, because I don't think the Hellhound moves. So I'm gonna try and hit him one more time with Gong. Although, if Lo can get just one more heal off, he'll level up as well, so that's actually useful. Alright, I know exactly what I'm gonna try to do here. I'm going to heal Lo. Let the Hellhound attack. Get one more heal off with Lo. So Lo will hit 10, and then I'm gonna try and finish him off with Vankar. So Vankar can hit 10 as well. Or would I rather... No. Or would I... Or would I rather get the experience points with Kokichi? That's a tough call. Ugh. Let's just hope that doesn't double hit, because it can do that, unlike magic. Breath attacks in this game can hit twice. Heal up! Get Gong back up to speed, get his survivability back. And then get that level up, so now Lo can finally be at level 10 and he learned a new spell. Let's have Gong attack. Weaken this guy a bit. Get some good experience points. At this point in the game, my focus is definitely promotions. So, part of me wants to give it to Kokichi, though, because he's behind and it's probably gonna be a while before I really use him much again. Screw it, let's just give it to Vankar. That way, at least he can, because otherwise I'll use Vanguard in another battle and he'll only be able to attack once and then that'll be it. Yeah, so now that door opens, the bottom one doesn't, so I'm pretty sure that's locked. Yeah, I can't get in there now. It ultimately doesn't change anything. It's just, you get an extra cutscene. Oh no, you've killed all my lovely monsters, brute. Well, they got in my way. If you didn't want your monsters to die, you shouldn't have had them on guard duty, where they're likely to die if the castle's invaded. Oh wait, Get away, you overgrown mutt. I'm not stopping until I finish Balbazak. Grr, snarl. Arg, I've got to get through. Eat steel, mutt. Kerpow. Now if I can just find Balbazak before I die. Okay, so this is the cutscene. I got it wrong. Back off or it's you. Let's join forces. We can help each other out. Ernest joins the Shining Force. Okay, so this is the way that does the cutscene and the bottom one doesn't? I could have sworn it was the other way. The secret door vanished, but that won't stop me. Charge! Charge! But yeah, if you go the other way, then if you just come down here, you'll find Ernest standing near the bed with the passage and the monster already taken care of. But I could have sworn that was triggered from the bottom path, but usually I just race through the story anyway because I've beaten this game so many times, so it's easy for me to forget little things like that. Always try to be worthy of the light. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm getting better at being worthy than I was once upon a time. Let's promote some people. May can be promoted to Paladin. With every promotion, we reduce the count of exposed horse butts in our party. It's a terrible price to pay, but it's worth it for greater strength.
With great power comes great responsibility.
So many promotions, but that's good. Our forces are building up nicely. You're Max, huh? Ernest said you'd be coming through. Be careful, I sense trouble. Hello? You provide the money and I'll provide the supplies. That's how business works. You don't have anything useful, but you can help me out because I found this man named Kenji in the bushes outside and I'd like to sell him to you for 3 coins. The worth of a man is 3 coins. I sold a bikini for more than that. Enjoy your life, Kenji. As a piece of merchandise that's worth less than an herb. Don't hurt me, I give up, but Balbazak awaits you in the town harbor. Get out of my way. I have more people to talk to. Balbazak is a vile worm. Don't let him get away. Don't worry, I won't. But he's not gonna try to get away anyway until I am done with this stuff. Yeah, this is where you enter if you defeat the artillery. Then you go around, talk to Ernest, and he's already done all of his stuff. I surrender, I just can't fight anymore. Rumors have it that you are invincible. Well, judging from my track record, I wouldn't say invincible. But at least unlike the future games, this game doesn't display the number of times I've died in the menu. Don't go easy on Balbazak, he's one nasty fighter. Oh, he's so nasty. So nasty that I'm gonna make a complete fool out of him. Wasn't there a weapon shop here somewhere? I thought there was, but I guess not. Oh well, that's all good. Now we need to head to headquarters and prepare ourselves for the next battle. What advice have you got for us, Nova? Is it anything important? Probably not. Advice. Clever use of the skills and strengths of your troops is the key to victory. Thank you. Thank you for telling me how to play the game. Our characters are getting fancy new get-ups, but, oh boy. So, I need to decide who to take into this next battle. I should just take characters who need to get promoted, really. Alright, I've got my party arranged. This isn't necessarily an ideal party for this. This fight is really just claustrophobic with lots of enemies grouped together, which is why I added Tau and Gort to deal with that sort of stuff. But other than that, a lot of my party is just characters who aren't promoted yet because I really need to get them past that threshold. My first focus was putting in characters who still need to promote, keeping Lo and Gong because they're my healers. And then after that, I kept Arthur because of all my knights, he's going to be needing the experience the most early on if he's gonna have any chance of keeping up. And then Tao and Gort are there for crowd control because this next fight is just a real cluster of enemies. To the harbor, if you're Ernest's friend, you must be okay. I'll open the door for you. Into the harbor! At last we meet, Max. Soon you and your misfits will trouble us no longer. Yes, that is Balbazak, a commander of the Runefaust army. You must destroy him. Not just kill him, not just defeat him, destroy him. So to end off this hyper-eventful chapter in the game, we have a second boss fight. Oh no, he bit me. That's the thing with the Hellhounds. They have that super dangerous flamethrower, but at the same time, they also have their little stupid bite attack that does nothing, pretty much. I mean, you have to be under-leveled at this point for the bites to be a threat at all. We've got this new knight, Ernest, who is, of all the knights in the game, he is the one I have the least experience with, except for maybe Arthur. We've also added Gunts to the team, who's a super strong, super tanky character who uses spears, but his drawback is he has terrible movement, so he has a difficult time getting around the battlefield, because, as I explained, I believe when he joined, he has a movement of 4, whereas generally the minimum movement of a character is 5. But other than that, he's a great character if you can get him leveled up and get him in there. Gort... What do I want Gort to do? I think I want Gort... Can Tao... Tao can't reach that spot. Henri can, but that would be a dangerous place for her to go. Gort can take the hits a lot better, so I actually am going to use Gort to blast these guys with the heat axe. If you use the heat axe as an item, it casts Blaze level 2, doesn't cost any magic points, and gives your warriors a ranged and magic attack. But the drawback is if it gets damaged, you can't use it anymore without risking it being destroyed. I'm actually gonna keep Henri over here with the bats to help bypass their evasion a little bit, and get Diane and Hans in there to help with them as well. How strong are these bats? Stronger than I remember. So we gotta get these guys out of the way before they start wailing on us. Oh no. Ah, dang it. Is that gonna kill her in one hit? Dang it. I need to get these bats out of the way as well. This is the hard thing about this fight. This is actually kind of one of the more difficult fights just because there's so many enemies just cluttered together that there's no real chance to catch your breath. And because my levels aren't too, well, they are a little bit lower than usual, but I should have some characters higher levels than these at this point. All my characters should be promoted at this point, and some of my characters should be hitting level 2, maybe even level 3 by this battle. So I am weaker than I should be, but that's the price I'm gonna have to pay for playing the game the way I'm doing it. So that's gonna be a theme throughout the game, is being under-leveled. But that'll make it more challenging and in turn hopefully more interesting. Not only because of the increased challenge, but also being able to use everybody as I go. Give every character a chance to do what they do. What's Max's defense look like? Not too much better than everybody else. At least this gets me a more guaranteed hit, as opposed to trying to hit the flying guys. They're both just as weakened. So let's get Hans kind of out of the way and then shoot this bat. Dang it. These misses are gonna quickly escalate into a problem if I can't start Slow has... Okay, that has more range than I thought. I think because in the second game, I believe they reduced Slow's range to 1 instead of 2. And I feel like Slow could actually be useful in this situation to make the enemies more vulnerable, because what it does is it reduces the target's defense power and agility by a certain amount. So that could be useful for making the enemies die quicker, but it can miss, which is the problem. I just have to get past this initial bundle of enemies and then it's smooth sailing from there. Ah, dang, she can't hit that bat that's actually weakened. And if I put her right out there, she'll be in serious trouble. If somebody like Gort or Tao can get a turn, then I can finish that bat off. So I'm actually gonna have Diane go for the priest instead. Oh dear. Ooh, that's a hard hit, and that's why I like to have 2 healers when I was younger, because of hits like that. Gort's in a lot of trouble. Please let Gort get at least 1 more turn. Okay, I'm actually... It's risky, but I gotta keep Gort here. And, uh-oh, this is probably... Oh no, that's just a text message. And it's not even important. At least the last phone call was important. This is just... a stupid thing. Another... What? Did I not even... Oh, whatever. Sorry about the interruptions. The first phone call was actually important. It was something that I couldn't ignore. But, I mean, what can you do? Hit this guy, hit this guy. I ignored the artillery on purpose because I hate wasting experience points. And I knew he was going to get the 48 maximum just from the 1 kill as well as damaging the other bat. So I couldn't bring myself to let him kill the artillery as well and cause those experience points to go to waste. Especially because I can get those experience points now with guns instead. Kokichi. Stay here and try to get rid of... actually, go here. Here and try to get rid of this bat. Perfect! Another reason I'm using 2 healers in this run, which I don't remember if I specified this, is because my levels are going to be lower than normal. So I feel like I'm gonna need that extra healing to keep everybody alive through the stuff I'm gonna have to be going through. Hit this bat with freeze. Solid guaranteed hit. Henri's getting up there with her experience points, which is good. Thank you for attacking Guns instead of Gong. You're a smart bat. Alright, Gort is the one who's super injured, so Gong... Putting Gong in danger, but Gort is more important right now. And that's another reason why I feel like the whole monk idea of the healer/fighter is kind of stupid. And even in later games, in later Shining Force games, they got the balance right a bit better with them actually being strong fighters. But the problem with that is I never find myself fighting with them anyway. 90% of the time, even though they can fight, I'm using them for healing to keep everybody alive. So I've always felt like, even when they have the balance better, I've always felt like the whole thing of having a fighter/healer goes to waste when I'm just going to be healing with them all the time anyway, not actually getting any attacks off. I'm really grateful for that hit, not just because of the damage, but because he got that level up and it didn't have to be from a kill to do it. Let's get this healer out of the way. Because enemies being able to heal in this situation could become obnoxious. Although things are going well, the situation is stabilized, so I'm not really feeling threatened anymore. This game doesn't even have a status option. Later games added status to this, and I believe got rid of the speed option. Actually, I think they might have actually included message and speed together, because that affects how fast messages go during combat. And that affects whether or not they're displayed. If you turn the display messages off, then when it goes to the battle cutscene, it doesn't show the dialogue on the bottom of the screen. Which I've always felt to be really stupid. I get it for like making things go a little bit faster, but I believe it also omits the data for when you level up. Which is dumb. Why would I not want to know my character growth when I level up? Try to get this knight out of the way. Get Arthur some experience points, because even though he's promoted, he's gonna need them, or he'll start falling behind eventually because of his late growth. Henri takes a hard hit. Good. Sleep costs so much. It's good if it hits, but if it doesn't hit, and it just costs so much for something that can miss. Although, yeah, I'd rather just weaken this bat than put it to sleep. Although, if you put an enemy to sleep, if you're going to cast sleep on anything, I would recommend it being flying enemies. See, look at that level up. 8 speed and 3, was it hit points or magic points? I wasn't paying attention. But that's the difference between being promoted and being not promoted. Is you start getting level ups like that. It was magic points, okay. And she also learned Blaze level 3. So now she can really start to dishing out the hurt on some enemies. I'd rather this not kill the enemy, but oh, perfect. Just don't, perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better than that, unless that bat then gets the opportunity to kill somebody. If this weren't a flying enemy, actually I'm gonna go level 2, just for more guarantee of the experience points, because these guys resist fire anyway. Just so long as that isn't a... ah, dang it. I was just gonna say, just so long as that isn't a crit, it shouldn't kill him. But then it was a crit. If I do this right, though, I think I might still be able to get my people promoted. Because I can abuse Balbazak's stupidity to a point where I can kind of grind against him, which I really don't want to do, so I won't deliberately. But I believe I could, because I could also take advantage of the enemy healer to get more attacks off. But I don't think I finished explaining how, if that were a normal enemy, I would have just used a basic attack, because it would have been enough with them only having 1 hit point. However, because it was a flying enemy, I didn't want to risk missing, so I went with casting magic instead. Heal up guns and get some more experience points with Gong. This battle's going better than I thought it was going to at first. With how things started off, I was taking heavy hits with a lot of people. See, he didn't even get attack power that level. Meaning... Gong is only stronger because he has the power ring equipped. Otherwise, Lo would be strong. Otherwise, they would both be equally as strong. Which is stupid, especially because Gong didn't gain any attack power for that level up. Oh wait, there isn't even a healer up there. What was I thinking? I was getting mixed up and thinking that one of those was a healer. I think I just wasn't looking very closely, and because they have similar colors, I was for some reason mixing up the Hellhound with being a healer. Whatever, at least Gong got a lot of hit points for that level up, so that's beneficial for keeping him alive at least. But he should have got attack power because he's supposed to be fighting as well as healing, but this game doesn't like character balance. He should be able to survive if that Hellhound flamethrowers him, so long as I get rid of this puppet, so there's no follow-up. As for Balbazak, he's not gonna defend himself. Because he doesn't move. Because he's an idiot. And he has no ranged attacks. So he's just gonna stand there and take my abuse upon him like a punk. Because he's such a brilliant tactical mind that he knows not to fight back when arrows and spears are being blasted upon him from a distance too great for him to retaliate. Because that's what intelligent generals do. I'm actually going to get Tao in here to try and put this dog to sleep so it can't whack anybody while I'm waiting for a kill that I want to get. But it missed. Of course it missed. And she got, like, if status effect spells were more dependable, I would use them more. But the fact that they can miss on top of the fact that you get no experience points, even if they do hit, I'm just like, whatever about them. Since that enemy just went, I'm gonna have Hans go for Balbazak and then give the Hellhound to Ernest. Or Kokichi. No, Kokichi won't level up anyway. Like earlier bosses, I believe Balbazak also auto-heals, but I can't remember for sure because he's such an insignificant non-threat. So I believe I could just sit here and keep whacking him and then letting him heal and then whacking him some more until all my characters level up, at least to 20. That was a weird level up for Ernest because I could swear that he's a glass cannon. I haven't used him much, but from what I recall in the 1 or 2 times I have used him, I remember being a glass cannon, just lots and lots of attack power, but really weak defense. Yeah, Balbazak healed himself, so I could just sit here and keep whacking him until all my level 9 characters hit level 10. But I'm not gonna do that, because I don't like grinding, just in general. So I'm just gonna have to really hope I can get these characters caught up in the next fight. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep shooting him until he dies. And we're not gonna get to see him do anything with his awesome sword. He's got that wicked sword. I'm sure he's just itching to use it. Too bad he won't step off that spot to do so. Alright, I've got all my unpromoted characters in range. By total coincidence, everybody who I need to be gaining experience with right now also has a ranged attack. So I don't have anybody missing out on this little grind fest, which is convenient. Will anybody get the level up if they kill him? Diane will, so I would like to get the killing blow with her, if I can rig it like that. So that's what I'm gonna try to do, because Diane is within range of leveling up if she gets the kill, so I'm going to try to rig it so that happens. And to assist with that, let's have Gong use the power ring on her to make her stronger. That'll give her 15 extra attack points. And Gong 1 experience point. Woohoo! So now I just have to start whacking it with everybody else and hope Diane gets the killing blow, because then I'll be able to promote her after this fight as well. And then that'll be one less thing I have to worry about, whereas if anybody else gets the kill, they won't gain the level up. Alright, everything's set. So now if Ernest and Hans get their turns, perfect, the game wants it to happen. Unless she, okay, I was just gonna say, unless she misses. So Diane also hit level 10. Max, take the ship, but please spare my life, please. No, you don't want to kill me, do you? Please let me go. Fine. Thank you. Take the ship. Go after Dark Soul. Balbazak, you betrayed me. No, no, please, Dark Soul. Leave me in peace. You disgust me, Balbazak. Leave you in peace? I will leave you in pieces. Forgive me. Too late, worm. Receive your punishment for failure. I am dying, Max. You must kill Dark Soul. Free Runefaust. Take the ship, as the fool said. You will not survive the voyage. Ha 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 ha. There's those laugh hiccups again. Thus did the Shining Force free Uranbatol and set sail for a land of legend. Chapter 4, The Great Fortress of Balbazak End. Wasn't all that great, but whatever. With that, we'll conclude the episode at the end of another chapter. Next time, we'll hit Chapter 5. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching! Chapter 5, Gateway to the Hidden Shrine. Oh no, monsters! This whole chapter is just dying. I would remove guns for this battle, honestly, but the enemies were kind enough to leave and wait until we got all our stuff arranged. A weirdly mind-blowing experience from that otherwise astronomically atrocious video game. Welcome to Worrell. The battles aren't very interesting, the story isn't very interesting. Promotion time! Because this is the most uneventful battle in the most uneventful chapter in the game. There's nothing wrong with nothing happening. Why is this boat a different color from all the other ones? I don't think I noticed that until I first saw the game on an HD TV that didn't mean anything.